Polisher, Lawkeeper, it has Geist. It actually just has everything in the main. Has an Angelic Destiny, has everything except for Gather.
3 Fiend Hunters is going to be really good for him.
Yes, Lawkeeper's going to be pretty good, except for against, it might be a little shaky against Elshorn. Relic Order is going to be potentially huge, as is Thalia. There's only one Oblivion Ring, though. I think Bernal might actually be a little bit behind in this matchup. He has Whip Flare in the main, but Whip Flare's not really what you want against humans. Let's see. He does have 1 Day of Judgment in the sideboard. Ooh. The humans deck gets the board in. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that.
You know, I think that looking at the lists, when I was imagining this matchup, I thought that Joe was going to have a pretty big advantage. Looking at the lists now, I'm going to about face on that.
The humans cards are very good. Though Joe is mulliganing and Rayne is keeping, so that's just that a little bit away from him still. Joe just has to get an Elshorn to play fast, and that's how he's going to win. I guess you could also... Roots Guard Demon combo might be good.
Triple Whip Flare main is going to be one of the best things Joe has going for blunting the ways that Rayne can stop him. And it's so easy to make that Whip Flare's not as good with 4 Honor the Pure.
Honor the Pure, a lot of things just to make that Whip Flare not good at all. Rayne has actually just found room for all of the humans cards you could think of except for Gather the Townsfolk and Loyal Cathar, which... I don't know. I've always liked those guys. But,
for long-time watchers of Star City Games events, you can remember that Joe did top 8 at the last Star City Games Invitational. The one before that. Yes, in Indianapolis. So both Joe Bernal from Chicago and James Bush, success in Indianapolis, and here they are trying to repeat that in Memphis, just a little bit further south. I think it's further south. I actually don't have a map in my mind of how it looks.
Yes, it is. Having driven to both places, Tennessee is further south.
I've never driven to Tennessee.
I have. That was a fun trip.
Only ever flown here.
Joe Bernal leads on a Dark Slick Shores into a Ponder. Looks like there's a Whip Flare, an Island, and I think the Wormcoil Engine was the last card, but I can't tell. We're getting shuffled away, so not the most relevant. Let's see. If Joe has a turn 2 Heartless, this game could be over very fast, but otherwise... I don't know, we'll see. He could also have the Faith... Like, the Faithless Looting on Burial Rites plan is such great redundancy for this Heartless play.
Wait for... And Joe's got a nice smile on his face. I think he doesn't seem too stressed out, though. I've seen Joe for years now. I've seen him when he gets stressed. He does not look stressed.
Cards are angling mighty high here.
Rayne Gould is prepared for a cold tournament. Let's see.
Joe draws another Dark Slick Shores. Passes the turn. Rayne. Turn 1, Plains. Only a Doom Traveler, so Joe can breathe a sigh of relief. He's not going to get busted out fast with a Champion of the Parish. He only has a tapped Isolated Chapel on 2.
What do you think of the Thalia's impact on this? Rayne has 3 Thalia main.
That might be very huge here.
Thalia?
I've actually really hated that card in humans, but his deck's very light on spells, so it might be where it's at.
Who do we have there?
Speaking of Thalia, it hits the board on turn 2.
Oh boy.
And we'll see if Joe has a way to fight around this. He has a Liliana in hand, but that does not seem very good against not just this board state, but this matchup in general. The other Dark Slick Shores comes down, and Joe's tapping 3
Zot.
Metamorph Legend Rules the Thalia out. And that was his... That's a fine answer to Thalia if you need one.
I don't mind doing that. Rayne could well have another, though.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 in his deck. It's very heavy. It looks like Joe has a Liliana in hand. Rayne drops a Glacial Fortress, crashes Joe down to 16 with his Doom Traveler, and drops a Mirroring Crusader.
There we go. That is, if he happens to have a land in an Angelic Destiny, a lot of damage could come by Joe's way next turn.
Joe drops an Evolving Wilds, which will find him the red for this Whip Flare, but that might not be fast enough if Rayne has an Honor the Pure or something similar. Looks like Liliana might make an appearance. In fact, she does.
Discard? Edict. Goodbye, Doomed Traveler.
Levels up or down the Doomed Traveler, depending on how you view it.
From Joe's perspective, he's setting up for the Whip Flare for next turn. So.
Yes. Let's see.
Do we have an Honor the Pure? That would be one of the best
or
cards.
Or Hero Blade Hold would
or,
both be devastating.
Angelic Destiny.
Well, yeah, Angelic Destiny would end the game on the spot. Yeah, nope.
Nope.
Liliana's going to die. Joe's going to drop to 12.
Take 4. Hero?
Hero is
good.
Pretty hard to beat here. The attack puts Joe to 5 if... Yeah, that looks like a Hero is going to make an appearance.
Boom. And we're going to see a mountain here from Joe.
A Hero Blade Hold, one of my favorites. Yeah, there's a mountain in play for Joe. Joe can Whip Flare, but I think what he's really going to try and hope for is being able to Faithless Looting into the... I don't know what is in his hand, but if he has a Faithless Looting, he can potentially set up the Elesh Norn on Burial Rites next turn. But,
next turn is a big ways away.
It's a few specific cards. And on Burial and Elesh Norn and a Faithless Looting.
I would just be worried about not surviving.
Yeah, not dying.
Yeah.
We'll see. We will see.
I mean, if he has the mana and the 2 cards... Oh, that was a sad face from Joe Bernal. That's what I'm talking about. When I've seen the face he just put on there, the little frown, the slight look down, that's the not happy face.
That's the probably dead to a Hero Blade Hold face. He's got the Elesh. He's got the Whip Flare.
Wow. That is a bold play. I think he's going for it for next turn, right? If nothing happens to his Solemn Simulacrum, Joe's in great shape. If something does happen to it, I think he's dead.
Yeah, he dies if the Solemn can't block. That's the gist of it. 4, 3, 4. Any spell that's getting cast with this much is lethal.
Fiend Hunter, that's good enough.
Game.
Yeah.
3, 6. Yeah, even if the triggers get stacked wrong somehow, it's lethal. Moving to game 2.
A quick one. So for those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here in the booth with Ari Lax. We saw the first game here. Rayne Gould takes down Joe Bernal. And we're going to have something for all of you out in the world. We were talking about a deck earlier today. This is going to be essentially our first trivia question of the weekend. Whoever gets, not whoever, amongst those who get this trivia question correct, you will be vying for 3 free months of Star City Games Premium. And if you've been watching, one of the things that we were talking about earlier was a green, black, white ramp deck that ran Primeval Titan and Grave Titan. And this is a deck that was put together by Dame Kim.
Yes.
He was Dreams Crushed out of this top 8. So the question is, in this ramp deck, this green, black, white ramp deck, he does not have Kessig Wolf Run. What 2 creature pumping lands does he have in his deck instead of Kessig Wolf Run?
Will we take either or do we need both?
Both of them.
Both of them? Okay.
So, if you're at home, what you want to do is you want to tweet your answer to SCG Premium.
It needs the hashtag
SCG Premium. You can see it right down there. Hashtag SCG Premium.
If you tweet it to @SCGLive, but not that, we're not going to see it.
Yeah, we need the hashtag.
Yes. We need the hashtag and the right answer.
Right, and so the question is, what creature enhancing lands did Dame Kim's ramp deck run?
To get with his Primeval Titan.
He ran 2 of them, 2 different kinds. Yeah. What were they? And hashtag SCG Premium. One of the people that gets the correct answer with these 2 lands will get 3 free months of premium.
I'm just checking right now if the deck list isn't up.
Well, if it is, well, good for you for being a good detective. So, back to our match at hand. We can see on the right Joe Bernal. Joe Bernal took that first game right across the jaw, just punched down by Rayne Gould, who... basically, Joe needed a...
needed an Elesh Norn a bit faster than he could present one. But as is, he just kind of died to Mirran Crusader and Hero Blade Hold. Those threats are very, very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, one of the things we're going to see from the sideboard, I think, from Joe, he's going to bring in his 1 day of judgment.
And these Oblivion
He's going to
rings.
probably bring in the Oblivion rings, and I think that's where he's going to stop.
Yeah, I don't really like Wormcoil Legend too much here.
Wormcoil is okay. I mean, it's a great card against an aggressive deck, but only if you can get it out cheaper. And that means his game plan is already working.
I think that these Lilianas are going out. Yeah, I think that these... I can't imagine keeping in Lilianas against this deck. On Rayne's side, maybe boards in some Angelic Destinies. He has Angelic Destinies, Relic Warders, Mana Leaks, Oblivion Rings in the sideboard, potentially. There's a lot of cards he can board in. I don't think he wants Grand Abolisher.
Grand Abolisher's not good for him.
Right. Sword of War and Peace, don't really like it. I'd rather have Destiny, I feel like. Cheaper.
Yeah, I think that you're right, that the Angelic Destiny will do more work. And also, the Angelic Destiny, for a little bit less mana, can actually pack a bigger punch on some of his cards, yeah.
Yeah, I think the sword might kill? Yeah, I think the sword might kill faster. If he gets 2 swings in, that's 8. There's potential for the sword to kill faster, but it's also possible the sword's just coming down way too late. So that's 4 cards out, 4 Mana Leaks in. He needs the Oblivion Rings to come in too. We'll see. He has a lot of cards he wants, and not that many he wants to board out, I feel like. Let's see here. Bernal's going to be on the play for the 2nd game in a row. He did mulligan game 1, so that may be a contributing factor in this. The Heartless deck, though, it does tend to mulligan. You know, that's one of the things. You base your deck around having a specific card or interaction, and you have to find it. Let's see if we can get while we're waiting, I'm going to check and see if get some updates on the Grand Prix that's occurring right now. Last I heard, Star City Games premium writer Patrick Chapin was 8-0 at that Grand Prix.
I hear he's undefeatable.
Undefeatable. He's I've played him at 8-0 before. He has been defeated.
I have played him mostly in playtesting sessions, and after the session, he will claim to have been undefeatable.
that sounds like the kind of thing I would expect. So let's see.
Oh,
Joe Bernal does not look happy.
You know, I've been playing with Joe for a while. I am not a poker player, but I imagine he would be a great person to play poker against.
That is one way to put it. Very, very, very expressive is the way to put it.
Yeah, I like that. Very expressive.
Rayne looking at his hand. I think they both kept their 7s this game, it looks like. Black Cleave Cliss, Faithless Looting.
Boom, look at that.
Off to a good start. Looks like Joe drew another red card, maybe a Whip Flare. Oh, discarding Unburial Wormcoil Engine.
Not a bad possible reload.
And he has the Whip Flare in hand, so this start might not be that
doomed.
Still, Doom Traveler for Rayne. Still no champion of the Parish on 1. Maybe he's saving that for the next game. Another Faithless Looting.
Doesn't he know he's losing card advantage?
Who needs card advantage when you just make Wormcoil Engines from nowhere? It looks like Joe drew another Unburial Rites. I bet he was trying to dig for an Elish Norn instead of all these other targets, you know. You need something that just locks it. Wormcoil Engine's a little weak against the Human Removal Suite, which just wrecks these, doesn't actually put yourself in the graveyard. You know, Fiend Hunter and Relic Warder and Oblivion Ring all just exile the Wormcoil and no tokens.
Wow, look at that.
Starting a Ponder and Unburial Rites. Playing an Isolated Chapel Tap and passing the turn. So I'm assuming Joe has no blue source. He only has 2, 6... Oh, he has 10 blue sources?
Honor the Pure, in for 2.
Yep. That means that any Mirren Crusaders Rayne plays from here will be immune to Whip Flares, which is important. Joe Bernal draws his card. Let's see, he has a Clifftop Retreat in his hand, it looks like, and another Black Cleave Cliss. But he's going to play Evolving Wilds.
Say go.
Yeah. Now he can either get a blue source or get another white source for an untapped land for this Wormcoil and potentially representing Day of Judgment. Joe does not look super excited, but he doesn't look miserable now.
Yeah.
So
2 damage from Rayne. says go.
Nothing in hand.
So he's got a Moorland Haunt in play.
He has to have a Mana Leak in hand. I don't know what he would have. I don't know what his cards in hand could be otherwise on the keep. Joe's going to get another basic Plains, so this Clifftop Retreat comes in. Double Unburial Rights does protect him from a Mana Leak, so we could be seeing this Wormcoil Engine entering play through a counterspell. The question is whether whether Rayne has a removal spell. Let's see.
Joe draws. He taps his card before he picks it up.
Drags it across the table. Ooh, Joe has the Elvish Norn in hand now. Would have been good a little bit earlier, but
I think he's thinking about flashing back a Faithless Looting right now.
I might just try and get that Elvish Norn in, but it's kind of an awkward scenario where he could go for the Unburial this turn, presuming a Mana Leak.
I would go looting here, because here's the thing. He's not under a really powerful clock. He's seen his opponent's deck list, and he knows that if his opponent
his opponent could just have a hero and kill him in two, and that could be a very big issue. Looks like Unburial Rights is probably the weapon of choice for Joe.
Boom.
Looks like he has a Solemn in hand is what he has. That's one of the cards. That
Targeting
might have been what he was debating.
Targeting
Solemn for
Wormcoil.
blue.
It
Wormcoil
works.
enters play.
And I think we're going to see it get removed by something. One of a million cards.
One of the 9 removal spells that Rayne has that exile something.
The best one he could use
11.
is, there we go.
Relic Warder.
Now remember, Whip Flare will not kill the Relic Warder.
Yep. Honor the Pure takes care of that.
In
Joe's
for 2.
going to drop to 14 from this attack. Rayne's just going to pass the turn with mana up. Joe drew Faithless Looting for the turn. This could get interesting. There could be an Elvish Norn entering play right now.
Cast the Looting.
Draw. He draws an untapped land and another Unburial.
Yeah. That was actually a really excellent looting.
Yeah. Probably going to discard Unburial and Elvish Norn.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then
He might keep the Unburial. He might discard this Blackleaf Cliffs. Yep.
That's fair. Yeah. Then he can cast 3 Unburial Rights.
Yeah.
Start with the first Unburial, follow up with another Unburial, follow up with another Unburial.
Exactly. I like keeping the rights here. Actually, the rights might not matter. I don't know if the land matters either, but...
There's the Elish. He's got the Swamp. Flashback Unburial Rights. Going for the Elvish Norn Mana Leak. And now he's still got a Unburial Rights in his hand to go for it again next turn.
Yes.
The clock that he has coming at him is 5 damage, so it doesn't actually threaten to kill him yet.
Yeah, we will see though. There's a lot of cards that Rayne could potentially have. You know, his Lean in Relic Order doesn't die from an Elvish Norn, so it could just be he kills the Elvish Norn and continues beating. You know, this Wormcoil Engine's not coming back anytime soon.
In for 5, go to 9, Joe. And here's the question. Yep, Rayne
3?
putting more to the table. Mirroring Crusader, which also survives the Elvish Norn.
Exactly.
And a land.
Ooh. If he has the second Mana Leak, it's all over.
Yep. And Joe pretty much, I think, just has to cast the Unburial Rights from his hand to get the Elvish Norn and hope it resolves.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if he has any other lines here. I think they all just lose to a removal spell, though.
The only other thing he can do is if he has 2 Whip Flares or a Whip Flare and another Sweep spell.
He only has a single Whip Flare, it looks like.
That's all I see.
Single Whip Flare, basic island.
Here we're going to see, I believe, the attempt. This is the
rights.
Does it resolve? If yes,
like
then
it's
he's still around.
Dead?
Dead. The new guy comes into play and is dead. Land from Joe Bernal. Pass.
That is exactly lethal if there's a removal spell.
Yep. And there's lots of removal for him here.
There is.
O-Ring, Fiend Hunter.
Well, that's actually it. Angelic Destiny, also lethal, by the way. in case Mirror Crusader math is not your strong suit. Doubling 4 is usually
I don't think that
enough.
Rayne has it. I think that Rayne is going to pass the turn, and then Whip Flare is going to get him.
Yeah, that is a pass.
Oh, Doctor.
Ooh. Oh,
okay,
boy.
are we going to see the Whip Flare? Cast it, Joe. Get a Wormcoil out of this.
Pat Chapin, 9-0 at this Grand Prix. Let's see. Joe Bernal.
Whip, whip, whip. Whip, whip, whip.
That sweeps everything away and gets back the worm coil engine, which should stabilize his life total. Let's see. Ooh, Solemn Simulacrum too.
Just this one has very heavily gone over towards Joe.
Yeah.
And does Joe have anything to fear from Rayne at this
No.
point? There's nothing left to fear. This game is pretty good for him.
Yeah, at this point, he's attacking for 8 lifelink, 12. It's 16 next turn. That's pretty close to lethal. 1/1 Mirror Crusader comes down, and the life gain from the worm coil is just going to put this out of range. You know, it's only 10 damage from a Angelic Destiny. 17 life. Oh wow, that's a Liliana. Yeah, this is way out of hand. For is Rayne just packing it in? Yep.
There we go. On to game 3.
Let's see. And Joe Bernal shuffling up for game 3 after potentially being in a bind and dodging a removal spell for the win.
He almost looked incredulous at his victory. He widened his eyes and was like, "Oh wow,
I didn't have it.
The sideboard again."
Oh wow, that's really lucky.
Now I don't know that there's much that he can change. It has the verification that Rayne brings in mana leaks, but does that change anything for him? I don't think so.
I mean, he saw the list. He already knew
Yeah,
that, so.
I mean, well, the question is, he knows that he has access to it, but some people don't bring it in, which I don't think is correct.
Yeah, he had to have brought it in this matchup.
I mean, people do the wrong thing all the time.
That's very fair.
You know, so.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. He knows that Relic Warder's in the deck post board now, which is kind of important to know. That's all I can think of, really, for Joe. Rayne may have boarded out Thalia on the draw, but kept it in on the play because of Whip Flare.
That seems really reasonable. I mean, even when you pump up a Thalia, he's still pretty much a big wimp.
Yeah, but like, the thing is that if you just play Thalia on 2 with a champion, they just Whip Flare on 3 and your board dies. So, I mean, actually, on the subject of champion, are we going to see that one this round?
I don't think that Rayne Gould draws it.
Yeah,
I think that he just actually puts it in his deck list and never sees it.
Yeah, the actual only humans card in the humans deck. Every other card just incidentally is a human with no tribal interaction. For champion of the parish.
There are some non-humans. I see a Geist. I see a Leonin Relic Warder.
Sure, but there's no other card with the whenever a human does something. There's no Bladehold Captain or something along those lines. What's the Avacyn's Captain?
Right.
Or at least not in this set. Maybe in the next set. We'll see. Let's see. Joe's just really looking to get an Elder Norn into play by turn 4. That's pretty much what he's trying to accomplish this match, and he's got a couple ways to do it. Heartless into Solemn into Elish is one, Faithless into Unburial is one, and Rayne doesn't have a graveyard hate spell to deal with the second way, so I think that's what Joe's probably leaning heavily on this Unburial Rights plan this match.
After we watched both of those 2 games, what do you think is going to happen in this third game? What's your prediction?
I don't know. I mean, these decks have some very, very, very powerful draws that could result in either player just instantly winning. So it's really all up to chance. Head judge John Carter doing the wiggle dance as he walks to take away standings.
I'm not sure if you knew this, actually. He is doing the Martian wiggle dance.
Oh, the Martian? I don't understand the difference.
Oh, well, you see the new movie John Carter coming out.
Oh, I see.
Yes, in Mars, so.
Oh. Yeah.
Congratulations to some of my friends out there who did well. Patrick Chapin, I believe, completely undefeated in the Grand Prix. Yes. Nadia Cyclamentimia, I can't say this very well. She made day 2. And let's see, my friend Stephen Neal winning a PTQ in Chicago.
Pat, Star City Games, I believe, writer still. It's Pat Cox, 7-2, making day 2.
Cool.
Drew Levin, unfortunately, losing his bubble mesh.
Boo. Yes. I like it when Drew Levin wins.
Yep. He's a fun guy to keep around.
He probably likes it when he wins more than I do.
That's usually true. There's very few people I can honestly say I like it when they win more than I do. Yeah, probably net total of 0.
Oh. I might give Brian Cowell the I like it when he wins more, but only if it's not against me.
Oh, the old.
Sorry.
The old BKs.
Ah, BK.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
I feel like there's got to be some mulligans going on here with all the shuffling action that's still going on.
No mulligans, just the slow shuffles.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
What was the recent Pro Tour with the top 8? There was a specific comment by BDM about the shuffling speed. I think it was Worlds. Yeah, that was the Inayaga got called out by BDM on his shuffling speed. If you're gonna play Wolf Run.
If you want to go watch some awesome Magic, go to the Worlds coverage. Watch Craig Wesco's match. I believe that was Worlds, yes?
Yes.
Great match of Magic.
There
Conley Woods, Craig Wesco. Great
There've
Magic.
been some really good PT top 8s matches to watch lately. Some really
Absolutely.
exciting ones. You know, after the, I don't want to say, trying to figure out the right way to phrase Philly, the experimental format that was Philly.
Are you talking about Infinity Fairies? Infinity Fairies!
Exactly. Listen, that format was still better than what it would have been if it was extended.
I'm not sure I
Stoneforge
agree.
Mystic's in your deck. Stoneforge Mystic is in my deck. Who would have guessed?
I'm not sure I agree, but that's a long conversation.
Yeah, that format would have been very bad. Looks like we're finally off to some opening 7s here.
Yeah, was there a mulligan there, or was it just... No, that's...
7s for both.
7s for both. Wow, that was a long time to get there.
I don't know why Joe still has these Lilianas in his deck. I keep
He's
wanting...
seen Doom's Traveler, you know?
like, it's not even that. It's just there's so many random guys that just don't matter.
I agree with that, but also on top of it, he has seen Doomed Traveler. So not only is it random guys that don't
He's
matter.
seen the deck list.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Rayne doesn't have Gather or Loyal Cathar, but I mean, still pretty bad.
Yeah.
Joe looks like he has an Elvish Torn in his hand. I can't really tell what else there is.
I just hope he doesn't mulligan, given how long it took him to shuffle.
Nope. Both keep.
There we go.
No one drop for Rayne. Evolving Wilds for Joe. He'll have functioning mana this game.
In theory.
No 2-drop for Rayne.
Wow.
This is going to get interesting. Joe fetching an island for the Ponder in his hand. Fishy Lorwyn Art Ponder.
Oh, is it a fishy ponder?
Yes.
3 Moon Ponder. I really would love... I'm not really a big altars kind of person, but if I wanted to get my ponders altered, I'd get 3 Moon Ponder and get somebody to get some wolves on that there thing. Oh.
Joe draws another Elvish
Ponder.
Ponder away.
Fishy Ponder indeed.
Liliana is...
Shuffle that Lily out of here.
Yeah,
Get out of it.
This is probably
Go,
getting
go, go.
shuffled away. I cannot imagine keeping this.
Glum face. Joe Bernal was 7-2 in the Swiss, but because of the unintentional draw in the last round
And a Dream Crush.
and a dream crush from his friend James Bush, he is in this top 8 at 7-2. Almost unheard of. That almost never happens. That's like holiday miracle kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's very rare. It was just a very interesting coincidence of a few things coming together. Yeah, it's only on very rare occasions does an X2 make it. Let's see. I think Rayne probably has a mana leak in his hand based on how he's kept and is playing this game. Maybe a Mirren Crusader too. That seems like the kind of keep you would have. Another Evolving Wilds for Joe. New art as opposed to Rise of the Eldrazi on the subject of this Ponder thing. Looks like Rayne's dropping a Geist of St. Traft. I think Joe's going to fetch a red land here. Looked like he may have had a Faithless Looting in his hand.
Geist of St. Traft is one of those cards that when I watch it play out, it's both really interesting and also I find it frustrating, but not so frustrating that I want to,
Wish it didn't exist.
Yeah.
It's not like an invisible stalker.
Right. Like, one of the things that happens with the Geist of St. Traft is if you are at all not attacking because you're behind, it really feels pretty weak. If you're at an almost parity level, it feels kind of weak. But if you're ahead, it just
Or just there's an empty board,
Yeah.
Rushes. Joe gets a mountain here. Yeah, the way I've always started to view Geist, thanks to one of my friends, is that it's kind of like a Hell's Thunder, but every time you cast a removal spell, it just does 6 to them. It's like Seal of Hell's Thunder with the ability whenever you play a removal spell, it does 6 to an opponent. It's very much feels like a red card.
It does feel like I'm glad it's not a red card.
Oh,
if
God.
it was a red card, it would be dangerous as all get out. We're gonna see Faithless Looting here.
Yeah. Draws a Liliana. I still don't know why that's there. I'm just going to keep making that comment, I feel like. I really don't like that card right now. Joe's going to discard probably an Elishnorn and... trying to figure out what the other card he's going to discard is.
You know what's going to happen is that
too.
Rayne is not going to have very many creatures, and the Liliana is just going to wreck house. That's what's going to happen this game.
Yeah, Liliana might be good in this exact scenario. Yep, Joe discards Unburial Elishnorn. Looks like he's setting up. He has a third Evolving Wilds in hand. I think he might be setting up the old Ponder Fetch setup. The pseudo Impulse.
Or the really pseudo Brainstorm Fetch. really pseudo.
Listen, Brainstorm lets you hide more cards. Okay.
I said really pseudo.
Really. It's like a bad Brainstorm Fetch. Yeah. The build your own preordain. I think that's the better way to put it.
There we go. There we go. I'll go with that. Build your own preordain. Given.
A little bit better. Little bit better.
Okay. Fishy Ponder. Joe still thinking about it.
On the subject of Joe's deck, Ali Antrazi making day 2 of the Grand Prix.
Cool.
Let's see. Joe debating which one of these he wants to keep, if any of them at all. Stacks them on top. Decides to draw a land, it looks like.
For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Ari Lax. This is the first round of the top 8. We're in the quarterfinals of Grand Prix Memphis here. And Rayne Gould on the left with Blue-Eyed Humans facing against Joe Bernal with 4-color Heartless Summoning. We see an attack from the Geist of St. Traft. Hits for 2 + 4 is 6. Then does Rayne follow up with anything? Hero? I believe I said Grand Prix Memphis. I hope I did. Not Grand Prix. Star City Games.
I hope you didn't.
Oh boy. Star City Games Open Series Memphis.
So the duo of Hero Blade Hold and Geist of St. Traft starting to chip away here. Liliana the Veil taking out one of them, but
who do you remove if you're
Geist for sure.
There
Hero
we go.
So much damage.
Now the hero can deal at this point 7. If he gets a honor, it could be 10. If he gets a Angelic Destiny, that's also 10. Looks like it's
11.
Just, is it 11? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 11. +4 + 4.
Liliana,
what does that do?
So the tokens are going to be put into play attacking Liliana, I believe.
Well, knowing if he remembers his opponent's deck list, he only needs to send 1 at Liliana.
Yep.
Because he knows that there's not any tricks.
It's a cute soldier token.
And what do we got here?
Is this another hero?
Oh. Joe does have 1 Day of Judgment in his sideboard.
He could also just have an untapped
it.
land and cast Unburial Rights from hand. Those are his options.
He's looking.
He has the Unburial Rights in graveyard, it looks like, and the untapped land. So Elishnorn is going to make an appearance.
Elishnorn will make the heroes into 1/2s and kill all of the little tokens running around.
Now, if Rayne has a removal spell, this is way more than lethal.
Yeah.
And
so it's removal or no.
He has an Oblivion Ring in his hand. I saw it at the start of the game, and it's going to decide it right now. There's the ring.
Goodbye.
And there's the handshake, or
Joe
presumably handshake.
down.
Joe Bernal
For the
taken
count.
down by Blue-White Humans in the top 8.